Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have Ronrico silver silver label, Caribbean rum. Now, I used to say Puerto Rican rum, but the production of this silver rum has been moved in the last few years to the Cruzan distillery in the United States Virgin Islands. And if you look at Captain Morgan White Label, curiously, its production is at St. Croix Island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Where, they don't say. So it makes you wonder if Cruzan's not doing a lot of contract distilling now. Apparently they are, but I could be wrong. But I know I'm right about where it's distilled. It says on the back of the bottle, and it's bottled in Kentucky by Beam Suntory. All right, you can see it's got a Jim Beam bottle. And well, I mean, they're standard plastic cap bottles, what I'm talking about, not the square Jim Beam. I mean, the Beam, like Beam's 8-star, Old Granddad. You notice they always have the same bottle design. That's what I'm talking about. Their standard issue bottle, I guess you'd call it. Their general commodity bottle, Beam Suntory general commodity bottle. Heaven Hill has one. Sazerac has one, and they'll use it across the brands and across the liquor types. Get a Sazerac bottle, you see vodka, gin, rum, blended whiskey, straight bourbon, etc. in that same bottle. Usually to be the value price brands. Same thing with Beam. Now the competitor is Bacardi with its unique bottle. Greenish. It's actually a green bottle. You can see that. Like a lime green. Bacardi Superior, introduced in 1862. With their famous bat. Family-owned company. Produced in Puerto Rico and bottled in Jacksonville, Florida. So this is bottled in Claremont and Frankfort, Kentucky, two different places. This is bottled in Jacksonville, Florida. I would like to visit that bottling plant, but I'm pretty sure they don't give tours. This 750 milliliter, I saw it on sale this week at Rouse's for this week also, $11.99 for a 750 at Rouse's, $11.99. So $12 minus a penny. You can find this at international market for $8.99. $8.99. So $9 minus a penny. $9, $12. Is the Bacardi going to be $3 better? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. In fact, more than $3 better. R for Ronrico, rich rum. Ronrico. Bacardi is the family's name. Bacardi, that's the family. The Bacardis. Nice metal cap. Okay. Now, does Bacardi produce value price liquor? Yes. They have Castillo rum. That's a line of rum. That's what you call popular price, value priced, or if you want to call it budget rum, whatever you want to call it, because that's what it is. Castillo. That's a company they gobbled up. And I have the silver and I have the gold. Don't have the spice, don't have the overproof, but I think it's probably all right. Now, do they make a Ronrico overproof and spice? Yes, I think they do. But I haven't bought them, and I don't intend to at any time, anytime soon is what I'm trying to say. Got too much to do now. My friend David said, "You don't need any more liquor." I said, "I know, but I keep buying it." It's like, it's not a sickness, like you understand, like some kind of mental illness, but it's just a fact of wanting to dabble in different styles of types of liquor, not styles, types. Like people kept saying, try tequila. I was like, no. I wasn't opposed to tequila for any kind of moral or political or social reason. I just didn't want to deal with it because I would take up too much time. You understand? It was like a time management issue. Now, vodka, I just didn't get into that. I don't hate vodka, and I'm not an anti-vodkaite. It's just I've had some, and they're all right. I don't see much to it, so I just don't want to deal with it. I'm not like, oh no, no vodka, no way. There's nothing like that. But I mean, if you read the United States government's description of vodka, it's supposed to, the correct vodka is supposed to have no odor, no flavor, and just be highly filtered. So, I mean, if you want, could be made out of potatoes. Walmart's selling potato vodka now from Idaho. Makes sense. Usually it's made from grain. It's just, I don't care about it. All right. They got people that build their whole YouTube channel on vodka, and they have a big success, and people talk to them, they're engaged. There's Facebook vodka groups and all that. It's fine. Like I said, it's fine. I could have gotten a bottle of vodka last week for $3.50. No, I think it was $3.57, or was it $3.47? Full size bottle. No joke. Skull. That's one I've been sort of interested in because I did Skull rum, gold, and Skull dry white. But I just said, no, I don't care if it's 50 cents. I don't want it because I don't have time. I don't feel like dealing with it. But that is an example of how cheap you can get some of these products. Gin, same thing. I didn't really care for gin. My daughter is into that. That's her hobby. She could make a channel, but she'll never do it, But she's always trying this gin, that gin, this other gin, this gin, that gin, all into gin. Gin, however you pronounce that word, G-I-N. I've tried some. They were fine. I mean, I didn't dislike them. I just wasn't interested in it. I said, well, it's just not for me. Now, if I go to her house and she'll say, try this one and that one, I can try it, and they're good, and I can evaluate them, I think, sensibly, It's just not an interest area of mine. Everybody got different interests, right? Some people like to watch tennis. Some people like to watch basketball, and maybe the one that likes the basketball can't stand the tennis, and vice versa. But, no big deal. All right. So I did fool with the tequila and bought 2 brands. And then my friend David yesterday told me, those are not good. They're not true tequila. I said, yes, they are. I said, they're not 100% agave, blue agave. Well, then it's not. I said, yes, you don't know the legal definition of it. They're called mixtos, M-I-X-T-O. They're mixtos, like Jose Cuervo gold and silver. It's like saying blended whiskey is not true whiskey. It is. I didn't say it was good, but legally it is. Now, I'm going to do like the rest. I'm going to start at the bottom wrong, and I'm going to climb. Might take 40 years, but to me, that's the best way. Start low and go high. You say, well, Bacardi ain't shooting for the stars. I understand that. Let me mix these up. I'm well aware. Now, like my friend David telling me, those are not high-end tequilas. Okay, well, yeah, obviously. $8.49 a liter. I'm pretty sure it's not the best of the bunch. But people tend to tell me things I know already, often. I don't mind. Unless they really work my nerves, like a month ago, almost 2 months ago, where they were working my nerves over being sick and telling me, you need to go get tested. You need to go. I said, I don't want to get tested. It's not going to do any good now. I said, I can't smell or taste anything. Okay. No, I understand. I'm not, y'all are panicking. I was trying to tell them, I'm the eye of the hurricane. I'm the eye of your hurricane. And you're the one that's like spinning around like in a frenzy, and you're driving me mad. So people were saying, you seem agitated, worked up. You got sick. It affected your mind. I said, no, you're affecting my mind, not the sickness. You personally. To me, it was sort of funny in a way, because I was like, they think I'm crazy. Oh, well. Now, all it did was sniff that Vapo Rub. It wasn't Vicks. It was actually a store brand, Fred's. They went out of business. But the Vapo Rub, you put on your chest and your nose when you stopped up, which I never did because I wasn't stopped up. But I couldn't smell it. I said, this is like one of the strongest odors in the world, right? Like Limburger cheese. And I could not smell it. I could not taste it. I was like, whoops. But I say, well, oh, that'll probably go away. And after a week, it did. Like Christmas Day, nothing. Then January 1st, I sniffed it and I could smell it a little bit. I say, oh, okay. And I was smelling that Ronrico rum, the worst smelling rum in the history of the planet Earth. And but when I couldn't smell it for a week, I was like, I can't smell Ronrico. I know something's wrong. But then January 1st, that night, I said, oh, I think I got a little hint of the menthol, the Vapo Rub. And then the next day, yeah. And then it was back. So that was very, very nice. Now, see, this Ronrico's been messing me up. Let me tell you something, Ronrico, meaning whoever actually owns you, which is probably Beam Suntory or Cruzan or something. I think Cruzan is under the Beam Suntory umbrella, but I can't figure out if they actually own it or if they're in a production agreement. You can't even figure it out reading the Beam. If you read the Cruzan website, like their history, it's hard to figure out what the arrangement is. But oh well, it's part of their empire, either officially or unofficially. You know what I'm saying? It's like Oman, the country of Oman, was never technically part of the British Empire. They didn't own it. It wasn't a colony. But they called it a treaty state because they had a treaty with Great Britain that basically, in a practical sense, made them own it. Not own it. You know what I'm saying? What they used to use those euphemisms, guide it. And the United Nations wouldn't let them join because they say they weren't an independent country. But then in 1971, the British ended the treaty. They had said, we're going to end the treaty because we're trying to really disengage from the Middle East. Haha, that didn't last. That's what they were saying. We're going to let Iran take over the management of that Near Eastern security, Iran. But that was a different government in 1971 over there. This smells peppery. It's not overly sweet. It's not exactly tremendously aromatic. It isn't bad in any way. It's just sort of, oh, I almost went to Bacardi and read their tasting and aroma notes. I better not do that. That would violate the blind taste test protocols, I think. All right, so that one's very, very, like I use that word sometimes, demure. It's demure. If you want to say bland, go ahead. All right. We drank some bland beers yesterday at my friend David's house. I was like, well, we are going after one bum after the other. And I said, but that's what was given to me. These were given to me. I mean, we got to address them. I mean, we don't have to, but I said, then we'll get to Boulevard. Oh yeah, he said, I'm interested in Boulevard. He's going to be disappointed though, I'm afraid. I'm afraid he's going to be disappointed. The best beer we had yesterday was the coffee flavored beer from Geloso, Mad Bean Company. The Mad Bean Vanilla. You say, oh no, that's a convenience store coffee flavored beer. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was better than all the craft beers we drank yesterday. Those were a shambles. And we call it as we see it. We're not over there to fight, fight for your right to party. We're not part of that movement thing, like craft beer people. They're like, it's a movement. It's like some kind of social movement. But I do pay attention to the man behind the curtain. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not getting buffaloed like that. I'm not falling for that. I did for about a year once around 1996, 96 or 97, 98. But I started to wake up. I said, wait a minute. Oh, no, that gives you a good whiff if you sniff it up your nose like snuff. I didn't mean to do that. I just snorted some rum. I feel like Stevie Nicks. No, but she wasn't snorting rum. All right. It's kind of rich, but they're both peppery and kind of demure. Let me go get a towel. Oh, Lordy. All right. Sorry about that little incident. Never snorted rum before. Actually, it wasn't bad. Actually smelled kind of good in my nose. But I don't think I'm going to do it. Yeah, I was watching those interviews with those two rock stars, Grace Slick and Stevie Nicks. 10-year age difference. Well, 9-year age difference. But they were both talking about this bad combination of cocaine, powder, and liquor. And they were saying, oh, it really get you put off. They both said the same thing in the interviews, but these interviews were 10 years apart. Grace Slick said, you'd snort cocaine and you'd be, she said, you'd be so rigid. It was like, and Stevie Nicks said that too, you'd be like wound up, like, so then you sip some brandy, or in Grace Slick's case, some scotch or whatever she was downing, and then you'd try to calm down, but then you'd be too drunk to record the album, so then you'd snort some more and drink some more. Talk about bad life decisions, and they're both still alive, which is amazing. But usually they stay alive if they stay away from that heroin. Look at most of these rock stars that died; they were playing around with that heroin. But neither one of those ladies fool with that stuff. They say, "Oh no, I'm not going to mess around with that." That's what was that? The Greek god of sleep, narco, the god of sleep. Narcotics means sleepy. Okay. All right. I got this down. This one over here on my left hand is so much more peppery. It's peppery. Now, the one in my right hand is just almost vacant of aroma, but there is a slight little peppery note. Okay, well, interesting. Now, I can't say which is which, though. I've been too buffaloed by this Ronrico, too tricked, too scammed, too hoodwinked by it. Hoodwinked. So I'm very reticent to declare which is which at this point. Well, I do have to taste it, so let's taste it. Go ahead, golly. If you want to go out. Okay. Well, it's smooth. Give it that. They're both smooth. Now, one thing you got to say about Ronrico, it's cheap. It's 80 proof and it's smooth. Getting some sugar cane, sugar. I can feel my cavities in my teeth just drinking it. No joke, though. They are really sugary. My friend David hates rum. He's like, oh, it's like drinking sugar. Oh, yuck, yuck, yuck. I said, oh, if you don't like it, I guess you don't like it, though. Oh, 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 oh. That's what Porky used to say in the Little Rascals, remember? Oh, 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 oh. Man, there's a lot more barrel action going on over here. A lot more oak, like charred oak. And then thing about Bacardi, they got this proprietary combination of charcoals. It's so many different types of wood. They won't tell you what it is, of course. I wouldn't either. But and they drip it's like Jack Daniels, they drip the rum through the charcoal to filter it. Now the some of them will drip it like 4 times, take forever, but they got a lot of money. They're rich. They can do all that. And they say it makes it smooth, 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 and clean, clean, clean. And I believe it. They used to make Old English 800 malt liquor at Pabst. And, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And the old labels that I used to buy in the 90s would say charcoal filtered. Oh, I still like Old English 800. Don't get me wrong, but it used to be better. I don't know what it was. It was 6% as opposed to 5.9 today. Well, it's not much of a difference. But that charcoal filter, and I don't know how that would work with beer, dripping it through charcoal, but apparently they did. Well, they obviously did. It said it on the label. But I think when Miller bought it from Pabst in their blockbuster 1999 deal, Miller bought Mickey's, Fine Malt Liquor, Old English, and a bunch of other stuff from Pabst. I don't think they wanted to pay for some kind of charcoal filtration process, so they just quietly took that off the label. Tommy Carroll says, top of the morning, Jay. Top of the morning to you, Tommy. See, that's sugary sweet, like wedding cake icing. Now, wedding cake icing that'll turn your stomach, if you eat too much of that. You go to a wedding, which I'm so glad I don't get invited to weddings too much. That's like the worst thing to get in the mail is a wedding invitation. You're like, oh no, not this. I got to go waste my whole Saturday. And then some people will be like, oh, you get all that free food at the reception. I'm like, that's not even good. Oh, wow, I'm eating celery with dip on it. I'm eating chicken wings. I'm eating, what is this? Chopped liver and a Ritz cracker. Anyway, by the time they serve the cake, you probably left already because you can't stand waiting around. But you can't eat too much of it, though. It's so rich. You like eating it, you understand? But then it's like, well. Now, I know some people like going to weddings because they cheap and they want to drink other people's alcohol for free, which is shabby. I see people go to these weddings, go crazy, get drunk, act crazy. Sometimes they be wanting to fight at the wedding, which to me is comical. But I don't want to go. I don't want to go to nobody's wedding. But that is rich, like that wedding cake icing, though. I can't lie. This one is not rich. It's got a depth of flavor, though. I can't describe it. It has a depth of flavor. Now, I don't know. It just has a depth of flavor. The other one is more topside flavor, but maybe no underneath character. But it's very good. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it. The Ronrico is a great value. I didn't know what to think because when I bought it, I said this stuff might be bad. But for $8.99 or whatever, I paid $9.99. I think it was $9.99 at Winn-Dixie. I know it was. I didn't want to. I just said, oh well, I'll pay the money. You're gonna get your money, Maury. So I bought it, and I'm very pleased with it. I was pleased with the gold, and I'm pleased with the silver label. In fact, I think the silver label is a little more exciting. John and Neely told me, well, don't waste your time. He didn't say that in exact words, but he was like, well, you don't really want to mess with silver rum because it's just for mixing. There's not much to it. But I disagree with that. I think it does have a lot of character. They're subtle. And I would like to see John and Neely dabble into it more. He doesn't do a lot of liquor reviews. His channel is Georgia Beer Reviews mostly. But I would like to see him do that because he does have a good handle, a good understanding of liquor and all of that. So I would like to see more of it. I don't think I will. But I would like to see it. Okay, the one in my right hand is the one that I snorted accidentally. It's much drier. It's dry. It's a dry rum. It's so dry. And this, what I mean by that, a lot of people that confuses people. Dry meaning it's not sweet. There's no sweetness. I mean, there is some, but it's just crisp. Like if it was a beer, you say crisp, dry, succinct. This seems to be a little cleaner, a little more well-developed. And I guess you'd say better, a better quality product. So I think this is the Bacardi Superior. But now let's bring it down to the end here as we wrap up. You might have noticed I love doing these taste challenges, and I'll think about them I'll be thinking about them months ahead. You say, you're crazy. You're crazy. I'm not crazy. I'll just be thinking about them oh, I'm going to do this and then that. And I'll just be thinking down the line, and then around, it'll be August and I'll be doing. I just like scheduling these things. And like beer reviews, I'll be scheduling those out. I've got them all planned out more or less for the next at least 3 weeks or a month. All right. I know what you're thinking. I ain't never heard of somebody that schedules his drinking. Yeah. I do that. I like to do it. I don't do it haphazardly. Nope. That's not the way I do it. I plan it all out. Now, I buy them haphazardly in a general sense. I buy stuff I go to the store, say, oh, let me try this. Let me try that. I'd be grabbing stuff left and right, willy-nilly, Nolan's Volans. But I drink it as a plan, like a plan. A pattern. That's really good rum. I don't care how cheap it is. It's really good. I'm sorry to break hearts and anger people, but tell you what, it's kind of close. Is it $3 better? I'm sorry. Yeah, $3 better. I'm not really convinced of that, actually. And remember this, Ronrico's 2 years older. It's an older brand. It's been around 2 years longer than Bacardi. And they're both got those royal designations from the King of Spain, rum of nobles and all of that. Ronrico still has it on their label. I don't know, though. I don't know. But, I mean, really, you're going to try them both, right? I mean, if you're dabbling in rum and trying all the brands, you're going to buy both. So, I mean, yeah, just buy both. But is the Bacardi really better? That's a question that I'm not sure I can answer properly. But I would say, I guess it's better. All right. I'm going to say this is the Ronrico. All right. And I'm not totally confident in that, but I'm going to say this is Ronrico. Oh crap! It's the Bacardi. Well, that's a insult to my whole life. Well, heck, this has been tearing me apart. This Ronrico's got me screwed up every taste challenge. I can't get a handle on it. Cannot get a handle on it, which may be a good sign, right? It's it fights above its weight class, you know. It's welterweight, but it fights like a heavyweight. Just goes to show you. If anybody wants to see what I bought yesterday, let me know now or forever hold your peace. Jerry Smith says, so Bacardi's better? No, I couldn't even tell them apart, so I cannot say that. How could I say that if I couldn't even tell them apart? They're both very nice. Got to say that. Anybody want to see what I bought? Going once. Going twice. Oh, well, I'm going to watch the news now. You'll see it down the road when we meet again one day. God willing. Thank you for watching this video production.